And recording. So quite a while back, I reacted to a band called Grendel. I forget if the song was called Pain or if it was called Hate This. It was one or the other, but I've only reacted to them once. If I recall, it was sort of like an industrial, almost like dancey kind of song. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. And I had a request to do a song called Skull Fuck. But alas, I couldn't find it. Not on YouTube, not on Spotify. Excuse me. So I just decided to do like a song at random. And after a YouTube search, I came across a song called Pax Psychosis. This is from 9 years ago that it was uploaded, but it's from a CD from 2004, so it's almost 2 decades old, a little bit more than that. And this particular video only has about 12,000 views. That's likely due to the fact that this isn't the official music page. And again, it seems like it's hard to find actual like videos for this. Anytime I was doing a search, it just goes to like Beowulf, because obviously Grendel is the monster in that story. And it's funny because when I think of the name Grendel, I don't immediately go to let's see. I don't immediately go to Beowulf. There's a Dark Horse comic, I think, where there's a guy who looks like almost like he's in a ninja outfit with like Venom or Spider-Man kind of eyes. And that character is called Grendel. It's an assassin. Yeah, that's just a tangent. This song is roughly 5.5 minutes. Like I said, the first song I heard, I remember kind of being industrial, kind of like dancey. So like if you went to like a goth club, that song could be playing. So I'm kind of assuming this is going to have a similar kind of feeling. But who's to say? Let's go.
Your disease is confusing you, my friend. You need me. There's something wrong with your brain. But don't you worry. I can help you. Are you ready?
Sir! Yes, sir!
Except yourself. That's why nobody gives a shit about you.
I'm gonna pause it there in the middle of the verse. I thought it was transitioning, which is why I paused it, but apparently not the case. But in any case, this is just past the halfway point, and I kind of have to pause it at some point. With this style of music, it isn't necessarily verse, chorus. It's more just like a constant boom, 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 boom. So there may or may not be a good place to pause it. I enjoy this a lot. It does sound like a club scene kind of song, especially with the sort of synth that you get. It makes me think a little bit of like Crossbreed. And I always enjoy the vocals too when it's someone almost like just screaming like rah, 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 because it meshes so well with like the distortion. So it just sounds great. It's awesome. And obviously, like the imagery is like bombs exploding, soldiers, sir, yes, sir, American flags and stuff. So I get the feeling this is anti-war, which is good. Not war. War is not good. Anti-war is good. And that's a general motif that you get a lot in like metal and punk and like goth scenes a lot, just because America's a terrible country. I know that could like turn people off or immediately, because people were patriots apparently. But like war is bad, obviously, and America survives off of war. They produce bombs. Not to even go into the context of what the government does, as far as like overthrowing governments and like stealing resources and like actively trying to disrupt nations so that they can then go in and take over and steal oil and or install puppet governments or put in their black rock people, etc., to then go in and rebuild the place that they just had a part in bombing. Tee. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent about that because I want to react to the song. And I do have strong feelings about how terrible this government in place is. As most people do, I think. It's interesting how sort of blurry the imagery kind of is, and that might be due to the fact of how the means that Grendel here had to produce the video. And also, it is older, and then this is a channel that isn't necessarily the official video, so copy of a copy of a copy of a video degrades. But it's kind of fitting in the sense that when I did the search, Grendel, Beowulf, in the story, Grendel is the monster, I think, or the big bad that Beowulf has to conquer. But if you think of stories, how stories generally go, it's the victor writes the story. So Beowulf is the good guy in the story because he wins and he gets to tell the story. So it's not necessarily that it's so I mentioned this to my mom. Like, we had a conversation about something, because she was telling me some gossip about like some family member or something. And at some point in the story, I mentioned it's that old thing people say, that there's three sides to a story. There's your side, there's their side, and then there's the truth. So you never actually accurately get a proper assessment of what happened, especially if you're only getting it from one vantage point. So the fact that the video was very blurry, makes it seem like the concept of the story is blurred. So if Grendel is in Beowulf, I know I'm veering a little bit off topic. He's the monster, the bad guy. That's only because he was defeated. If it was t'other way around, who's to say that maybe Beowulf is the villain in the story and Grendel is the hero? It all depends on the outcome of the battle and who's alive to tell the story and how the story progresses. So with all the imagery there of like war and again like American flags, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? What's the reason that things are happening? Is there a psychosis for why we're doing the things we're doing? And I say we, even though it's not me. But that's how your speaking goes, language. But yeah, it's interesting to think about it from that kind of perspective. It's just like you only believe certain things because you're parroting what's being told to you, but who's telling you that thing, and is that information trustworthy? Um, mm. I think a lot of what happens now is that so many people are kind of realizing that we're all sort of programmed in a specific way from birth, because we're all fed specific narratives of what actually happened in history and what's happening currently as far as like current events, politics, and all that kind of stuff. Um, just because there's a lot of shame and guilt in history of things that have happened, and people don't necessarily want to be portrayed in certain ways. So you spend the first like however many like 2 decades of your life learning a specific narrative, and then you spend the rest of your life unlearning that because you then come across like actual information of what like actually happened and like yeah, I don't want to get too into it. I don't want to get too into that subject matter just cuz like that'll turn into like an hour video cuz I feel very passionately in my perspective. But again, that's just sort of the way the video was presented. It sort of made me think along those ways, just because of the imagery and how it repeated, and then also just like the screaming. There's sort of like you feel the emotion of the words, even if you don't hear the words or understand the words, just because like there's a desperation um, in the way the vocals are kind of applied in the song. It's just like won't someone please listen? Won't someone get it? Come on. Like it's not necessary. There's anger in there, but I think what I get more from it is just like the desperation of come on, rah, rah. Like that's the way it comes across. Hmm. The track itself, though, like real dancey, um, club scene sounding song, almost trance like in like pieces. Dig the synth. Like I felt like I wanted to pull out a glow stick if I had one, and like this is perfect. Like I miss going to goth bars. Alright, I don't want to get too caught up in like the point of view that I have of politics. So I think almost 20 minutes in the video here.